Hello, everyone. We're back for another commentary episode, and we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is in the theaters right now. We loved it. We saw it more than once, but we thought we'd do a commentary on the first one, which we also loved. Came out of, well, I wouldn't say came out of nowhere, but I know a lot of people were skeptical about it because they weren't sure whether it was going to, do as well as the Avengers, because no one had heard of them, hadn't they?
Yeah, we'll get into that. Like, it was a shocker for a lot of people. Even people who like the comics, they're like, "Wow, this movie's good."
Yeah. But we'll get you guys synced up with us. So we're gonna press spacebar and start the film. We've got the Blu-ray here.
Yeah, for everybody who doesn't know, this movie doesn't have a start credit. It doesn't have the titles first. It just goes straight in from black. Yeah.
So we'll do a quick 1, 2, 3 spacebar. And then we're playing. We're playing here, man.
Still a black screen. There's nothing happening.
Yeah, we'll just let you know. So Earth, 1988.
Yep. It was a good year. I remember it well. The thing about the start of this movie that got me was this is probably the most down-to-earth scene that's happened in a Marvel movie so far.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Well, I mean, it gets you in the feels, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, I don't think, what did we have before this? Like you said, there was Avengers, and there was Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, and whatever. It's just, this is supposed to be the craziest spacefaring movie.
Yeah.
But they go straight into just like a kid in a hospital and like cancer, and it's like a pretty strong opening moment in the movie.
Yeah.
And you don't usually get that in Marvel movies, so... Yeah, everyone thinks of this movie as like the big spacefaring talking raccoon one, but
sure,
there's a real heart to this film.
No, there definitely is, and I wasn't sure what to expect either. So yeah, seeing this opening, like you just said, I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I had no idea about. The only thing I knew from Guardians of the Guardians was they're in Infinity Gauntlet, like from the 90s. I remember reading the comic.
Okay, yeah. So like, I was going to ask you if you followed the comics, right?
Yeah, but I never followed them enough to know like who Star-Lord's real dad is, or
right,
Jason of Spartak or whatever it is. So
it'll be interesting watching this after seeing the second one as well. Just a couple of callbacks and see how closely they integrated the films. Yeah. I mean, they weren't done too far apart anyway.
No,
but still.
And it's one of those few Marvel movies where it's the same director, like writer and director.
Yeah. So this commentary is going to be a spoiler for Guardians 2 as well.
Yeah. And it's also going to be a commentary spoiler for Guardians 3 because we're just that good.
We're just that good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The reason why I mention that is because you see this scene and it's obviously emotional for him, but you find out in number 2 how she got there.
Yeah.
So that's like makes number 2 even more. When that got revealed, everyone's just like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
Yeah, that was a great moment too when you find out it was. Because she still cares about Ego in this scene.
Yeah, because she's still saying, like, your dad's, awesome and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she obviously probably didn't know.
Yeah, now it's a big moment for Peter Quill, because from here he goes running off. Like, this is a difficult scene to watch. It's tough.
Yeah.
His mom dies, and then he runs off, and then the movie kicks off proper. But, yeah, like I said, even in the second one, when he finds out Ego did this... Like, that's still the core of his character. That's still who he is. Now, for me, I loved all the music in this, but you're the big soundtrack guy. What did you think when you'd first watched this film?
I knew it was going to have... I'd heard, even from the trailers, I heard all the funky 80s soundtrack. So yeah. I knew it was going to be good. But you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of... do you ever play Grand Theft Auto Vice City when they had the... old school
the Miami Vice one.
Yeah, Miami Vice one. Everyone like raved about the soundtrack then, and they bought it in the stores. Like this one, it just reminded me of that. It was just like great film, but also soundtrack. Like everyone and out. I think they released it on tape as well.
So that was it. The awesome volume mix one. I remember seeing them around.
Yeah. So yeah, I was a big fan of it, and also it was good. It was just different. It wasn't just like your usual, I guess, Hans Zimmer music on like an Avengers film. It was like. It put a nice little twist on it as well.
Yeah, here we
go. Also, I get the feeling I could be wrong, but
this
we're seeing the credits here, but this is some of the new credits here. Well, they keep changing it, but I think that was one of the first times they introduced that style of it.
Yeah, but they've still made it bigger now. So now it's Marvel, and then Studios is right beside it, real big. Oh, here we go. 26 years later.
26.
Yeah, like, you look at how much this has influenced the last couple of years of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Especially trailers. And obviously, like, you get the shitty films like Suicide Squad that do throwing in songs the whole time.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is trying to make, like, that 80s vibe. But
yeah, you're completely right. And even Thor's taking some... Thor Ragnarok's taking... Because right now, like, art direction-wise, like, I love the fact that font is yellow and it really sticks out, and he's on this dirty kind of planet.
Yeah.
And this scene here as well, just with... they're setting kind of that usual Avengers or hero tone with, like, dark planet, it's raining, the music, but then it just takes a turn, doesn't it, in a second?
I think that's what people don't get about it, though, is that it knows it, because the writer and director can do what he wanted with it. You get that great freedom, but then there's also the point of everything that everyone's trying to copy, like the 80s vibe and the music. Like, it makes sense in this movie. It's not just stuck in there.
It's not just for a fad, just to, we need to be different. It's actually part of its DNA, isn't it?
Yeah, like, he left Earth when he was, 10 or something.
Yeah.
So he has no references except for when he was in the 80s, from 1988. So that's why he can keep making jokes about Knight Rider and, David Hasselhoff, because that's all he's got. It's not a gimmick.
No, it literally is when he left Earth. That was what was going on.
Yeah, and it's the same, yeah.
Even like call out, sorry, just to
we can't keep talking. One of us talks. That's it.
To the Zune, in the second film, they were like, "This is a Zune. It holds this many songs." Like, he's like being introduced to some of the newer shit. But it's pretty cool.
Newer shit that everyone else is still laughing at.
He just doesn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Good old Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah.
The man was just carved out of charisma.
Couple of facts here that I found interesting. You can find these facts on the web, but I found these ones. James Gunn he didn't even need an audition from Chris Pratt. Like, they did have him do an audition, but he wasn't even there to watch it because he just knew that Chris Pratt was going to be perfect for the role.
I think everybody realized what type of movie it is with this shot.
Exactly, yeah.
Then you know where you are with that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's that kind of movie. It's not...
Actually, it's in a minute where he kicks these guys.
Yeah.
Because you think like he might be like, oh, these little guys. Boom. I love that.
Yeah. But I was watching the movie in the cinema, and when that title came up, I was like, right, this film's over. It can end now. Because you have to have such balls to make that shot that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally trusting what this guy's going to do with this movie now. And it's kind of sad that 2 hasn't got as much love, but at the same time, this did everything first, so it's really hard.
It did. That's the thing, it's hard to follow it. It came out of nowhere. A lot of people were like, who are the Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, they knew the Avengers, they knew Iron Man and stuff, and Iron Man apparently was going to show up in this film. There was going to be some kind of cameo or something.
I wouldn't be surprised. Marvel getting all worried.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it did tremendously well for people just not knowing really what the film was about. The second one, I've seen it twice, and I just can't wait for it to come out on DVD. I really want to watch it again.
Yeah, same. I've seen it twice now. I was like,
I've seen this film like so many times. It's great.
We're Marvel fanboys, though. That's the way it is.
I forget the actor's name, but the guy that comes in a second, he's from Gladiator, isn't he?
Jaimin,
the guy.
Jaimin Hewson.
Yeah, he's great. It was good to see him as a bad guy as well. He's a great actor.
The thing about this as well, when I'm thinking about it, is that Chris Pratt was a nobody. And like James Gunn was not, he hadn't done a big Marvel movie before. Like, he's got lots of great little movies, but
I guess because Chris Pratt got known in Parks and Rec, didn't he?
Yeah,
like,
but even then, he got known, but he's not like known.
It wasn't like crazy big.
No, this is the film that gave him a career, really, a Hollywood career.
Because he did Jurassic Park after this, didn't he?
Jurassic World, yeah.
Jurassic World, sorry.
Oh yeah, like this blew him up. It's like everybody saw him in this and like, oh my god, this guy's amazing. He's charming. He's funny.
I haven't seen him in. He's in Zero Dark 30, isn't he? Apparently, that's the role that he lost a lot of weight for and got into shape for.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't know he's in it unless you knew it was him. You know what I mean?
He's just like a covered up Marine kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has a beard in it, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's not anybody. Like they didn't. It's not. like Jaimin Houston's kind of a big actor, but you don't even recognize his face.
Yeah, yeah.
Zoe Saldana, you might know.
I like Star-Lord.
Come on.
So good.
And he's a killer too. Like, I know they kind of modeled him on that Han Solo idea of like he'll shoot first.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a departure from, not that the other Marvel characters don't kill, but it's in outer space and they kill a lot of people.
Yeah, totally.
They don't just go for he's going to incapacitate them. Which was an interesting turnaround. They never kind of linger on it, but like Star-Lord will kill you. Like straight out. He doesn't give a shit.
He would shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
Like point blank.
And same
I love this little magnet device or whatever it was.
Like everything in it's kind of original. It's kind of like a nice, neat touch.
Yeah. Yeah, his helmet as well. Like I love that keeping him breathing.
Yeah. Although they've talked about that with there's the scene later on. Obviously, people have seen it
where he's out in space.
He's out in space and he doesn't die. And that could be because he's Ego's son.
Yeah,
and he's got those god powers.
Yeah.
He's actually more powerful than a normal human, but
yeah, totally.
He's never really dealt with a normal human, so
he's obviously never tried to be out in space without the helmet as well. So
yeah, like he
doesn't know.
Yeah, he'd never think of, like, he doesn't know what he can and can't do because he left Earth before he kind of realized what was normal.
Yeah.
So he's probably stronger and faster than a regular guy, or at least able to live out in space for a bit. There's also some good CG in this. There's the troll.
You saw the little troll there. Yeah? There he is again.
Yeah. It's just those great little touches of a director who's like, oh yeah, I know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is your favorite Marvel movie, isn't it?
This one is. I also really like Thor as well, the original Thor. I love that one.
Oh yeah.
That's one I go to a lot. But like number 2 of this, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, is up there as well. Just because it's so funny. I just love all the little one-liners.
Yeah. This is great. He just doesn't know who the hell she is.
So good. He reminds me a little bit there of James T. Kirk from the reboot of the Star Trek as well.
Oh yeah, the Chris Pine
he's like a bit of a womanizer kind of thing.
Well, that was another in-joke because she's green and Kirk always sleeps with green girls.
Oh yeah.
You know, so he's trying to make the fun. And like, there's another thing about the music's cool in it, but it's his music.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's not them saying like, "Hey, let's just play this funky track," you know. It's like, no, it's just a cassette tape. They were all from that era, you know.
Yeah, and he's playing it as they're flying off, and that's what they play over the set. I know it's a little thing, but that's kind of, those are the details that make a movie for me. Like, it's not just, oh, we'll put in a cool song.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, he's playing that song on his track.
He does such a good job of Yondu.
Oh yeah, Michael Rooker.
Another
and
thing
he loves that role. He loves kicking around in that.
Oh yeah, I read that he wasn't. He was actually going to, another spoiler, but he was actually going to die in this film.
Really?
That was the original plan, was to kill him off in this, but then they obviously kept him on, which I think is good because it means a bit more the way they told his story in this. Especially in number 2, it continues it, and then when he does die, you're properly like, oh my god, yeah, you know.
Yeah, because he doesn't do anything in this to redeem himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the little.
It's almost like they wrote
end.
it as a 2-parter, you know, like this is the intro and then the outro.
Yeah, I wonder how much great. He must have known some of the things going ahead, like what was going to happen. Like Ego was Quill's dad, because they have that in here where it's like, oh, you've got light inside you and stuff like that. Although that's something we should bring up about Guardians 2 now that we're here and the film's gone a bit quiet. I was thinking about it after I saw it the second time.
Yeah.
And do you remember in this film they show the Celestials on the planet and they blow it up? They're like that giant red thing.
Yes, yeah, I do.
So Celestials are like these big, powerful gods. But in the second one, Ego says he's the only one. He's all alone.
Right.
And he's been around for millions of years. So I'm thinking, are all the Celestials dead? Is that like it? It's just it's just a nerdy comic thing, but I'm like, oh, that's weird because Celestials are gods. You're not technically able to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're all wiped out. I don't know. It's like,
Or maybe he just couldn't find any, or like he's a reject, and they're like, oh god, this floating
like
brain. Yeah,
I thought they did a good job of this. Is it Ronan?
Ronan, yeah.
Ronan, yeah. I thought they did a pretty good job of him. Like even this beginning bit where they smash his face in.
Yeah.
Like he's pretty brutal actually.
Well, it's a great opening or introduction to the character. He's like, oh, this guy's a complete monster.
He's a bloody nutcase, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they didn't do a Walking Dead and wait 13 episodes for him to smash someone's head in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, here you go. This is the guy, first time out.
Yeah, boom. Kind of. This has got some Blade vibes going on with the blood pouring down.
Yeah. Although that's the thing, I remember watching it, and I've watched this a few times. It seems like there was something supposed to happen there, or like that was supposed to like work into something, and it never does anything.
Yeah, they don't really explain that, do they?
Yeah, it seemed like it was some sort of ritual, and then it's just like it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got like a good, like a menacing voice, and then like the whole Thanos thing, and he's like pissed off of him.
Yeah,
it's a good kind of relationship going on here.
Yeah, like this is the one we talked about it after Guardians 2, which we'll probably reference a lot and piss people off. This one does introduce Thanos and like have him more a part of it, and like
they weren't originally going to do that either. They almost cut him from it, but they wanted to link the universes. They wanted to link the films, you know, which is great because that's what Marvel are really good at.
Yeah, and obviously the Infinity Stone is in it. But the second one doesn't have any of that. Like, it doesn't connect to Thanos or...
No, it's really... It's on its own. It's like its own little film.
Yeah. Which I was surprised by, which I've said before. So, we've only got one more movie. Well, you got Spider-Man, but that doesn't count. You got Black Panther, and then we're into Infinity War.
I know. Can't wait.
Thor, Black Panther,
Thor,
Infinity War.
Thor, yeah. Yeah, Thor's going to be great.
Thor's going to have to do all the heavy lifting.
I think it will do as well. I think it's really going to be the connector of the universes.
Yeah. I think this is the kind of movie that people would have liked. Oh, good old Rocket. Like, this is the kind of movie everyone wanted Thor 2. I can't even say it. Through.
Ragnarok.
Dark World. No, like, Dark World
should have... the second one. Yeah,
should have been like this, which was kind of bigger and crazier. But now that they've gotten away with this one, and they got away with 2, you can see it in Ragnarok. They're just like, we're on a different planet. There's blue people and there's green people and there's everything's crazy.
Yeah.
I just think with Thor, the second one, they were kind of like, we can't take too many risks. We have to put it on Earth, and we have to be like, you know, everything had to take place on Earth and make sense.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas now you can just like, we're going anywhere. We're doing anything. We can have all types of font. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, Rocket is Bradley Cooper, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't even know if he knew what he was doing when he got this role. Like, I've seen him in interviews. It's like he didn't meet any of the cast.
No, until, he's just on his own, like in a room, just like recording. But when he was recording his roles, like his parts and stuff, apparently he was so animated that they used his face for motion capture as well. Just because they were like, oh wow, you know, like when he's screaming or he's saying something to Groot, they were using his face. And they put little balls or beads or whatever to capture it. Yeah, which is kind of cool. So.
He's definitely, like he does a great job in it, but it just seems to me like it was just a paycheck. Not that it was just a paycheck, but it was definitely like, hey, do you want to be in a Marvel movie? He's like,
sure,
maybe. What do I have to do? Just go in this room for 2 hours. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it definitely helps the franchise just saying like, hey, you know, Bradley Cooper's in this, you know, and they probably wanted that because it was coming out and no one really knew the Guardians, so they had Chris Pratt. Obviously, that was going to be great. And they did a great job with the cast, actually, for a new movie that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, like there's nobody in this that's going to hold the movie on their own. Like, you can't just say, Leonardo DiCaprio's Star-Lord. You're like, okay. Yeah. The thing I was going to mention, though, was Vin Diesel is obviously Groot's voice. Everybody knows that. And that's kind of like a jokey thing of like, Vin Diesel is doing the voice of Groot. And then you find out he only says 3 words in the whole movie.
I know.
Or 4. He says 4 words in the whole movie.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
And like then you have Bradley Cooper who has to do a real job. So
a whole thing. Well, one thing Vin Diesel did do is that he did his lines in different languages as well. He actually did, because he only had 3 words or whatever. So I think he did them in like Spanish and Russian and stuff. I don't know how many languages, but he definitely did them in different languages.
Je suis Groot.
And he'd also go to the premieres on the stilts that he wore. So he'd look really tall. So he loved the stilts. So he'd walk around the premieres like that.
But was he on set? I don't think he was on set for any of this.
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was or Bradley, to be honest.
No, because I know Rocket was done by Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother.
Okay.
Who's actually in it? He's Kraglin.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's Yondu's sidekick.
Oh cool.
The guy at the end of the second one who has the arrowhead.
The arrow. Yeah, he's good actually. I could notice that he had some good like one-liners and stuff.
Yeah, but he's on set. He wears like the big green gimp suit. They see them wearing like the Andy Serkis thing.
Okay.
And there's funny shots of like him sitting beside Dave Bautista, and like Dave Bautista has to pet his head and stuff. The other thing I was just going to say with Vin Diesel was, I think the deal was Vin Diesel did this so that he could get a proper Marvel job down the road.
Oh yeah.
Like he wants to be a superhero.
Right.
But as we're watching this week, the Inhumans trailer dropped. I don't know if you saw it. We're doing a mini podcast in the middle of the episode, in the middle of the commentary. The Inhumans is like mutants. They live on the moon.
I didn't watch the trailer yet, but I know it's got Ramsay from Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But that's a TV show now.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be a movie at one point with Vin Diesel playing the King.
Oh wow!
So I wonder what's going on now with Vin Diesel, because
I just want to know what in general what's going on. I know he's doing another Triple X, and the last one was just awful. One thing I just got to mention here is how brutal is the fact that she just cut his arms off, and she doesn't know that they grow back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty brutal.
They're all bastards, really.
I know.
But it's such a great way of telling a story, which makes me again pissed off at films like Suicide Squad, because everyone gets introduced as the story's going along. We don't spend 20 minutes. Like, we're 20 minutes in and now. Yeah. We didn't spend the first 20 minutes listening to bloody, this is Peter Quill and he's from Earth, and
no,
you know,
they explained it like as the action and story is continuing.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a slow start.
No. And then you have like this little scene where they're in, then they have a little backstory where they're giving them, not the interrogation, the lineup, where they're like, it's like the police lineups on Earth, and they have like all their crimes and what they've got, which was the trailer originally.
Right. Yeah. That's right. They were holding the cards up, and then he did the middle finger and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, the a-holes.
The a-holes. Yeah.
And Glenn Close is in this. Like, she's a big name, but
yeah,
she's one of those little cameo roles. I don't think.
No, totally.
Is she in the second one?
I don't think so.
Everyone's just listening, going, "Shut up about the second one. You're not watching the second one."
It's the other dude. I can't remember his name now. The guy from Brothers and all that lot.
Oh yeah, John C. Reilly's in it.
Yeah.
And Peter Serafinowicz. I can't believe they killed him off.
Some trailers. He's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. John C. Reilly's a legend.
Yeah, our friend from Shaun of the Dead in the shower. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on the new Amazon show, The Tick. I don't know if you remember the original.
Never even heard of it.
All right, we'll move on.
We'll have to talk about it in the podcast. Rocket. Yeah, apparently it says, warning, tendency to bite. Just there.
Yeah, there's some little jokes in there and everything. Yeah, like you can see his arms kind of growing back now.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love this. He's just like, all right, guys.
I'd say at some point they're going to have to show a whole planet of Groots, right?
I guess, yeah, that would be pretty cool in the third one, like if he comes back, or I don't know. Do you reckon in the third one, I think we already talked about it, but is he going to be a teenager?
No, I think he's grown up, because... Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's... Shut up about the second one, everyone's telling us now. At the end of the second one, the credits, he's a teenager.
Yeah.
But the second one takes place a month after this one. Like 1 or 2 months.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, but in the Marvel Universe, time works in the real world, so...
Yeah.
A movie that comes out in 2014 takes place in 2014. So when this comes out, the third one comes out in whatever, 2018, it'll be 3 or 4 years later.
Right.
Because it'll have to take place after Infinity War. Yeah, so is he a raccoon from Earth that they made into that, or is there like raccoons on other planets?
Because he's calling himself a raccoon. So
well, he hates being called a raccoon.
Yeah,
but does that mean somebody went to Earth and took a raccoon and experimented on them?
Probably. He'll probably have like a little black story. They'll probably like flash back to it or something.
Yeah. If anybody out there knows the origin of that, just send us a tweet at Rant and Bollox.
Apparently, I was doing a little bit of research, and he was like, he's based on some like UK raccoon character called Oreo, but I don't know.
I have no idea what that is.
I didn't look into it any further. I was like, okay.
So that's a pretty quick grow back on his arms, right?
It is, actually. They're pretty much back, aren't they, right now?
Yeah.
So it's taken him a while to grow all the way back.
But it's a nice little piece of foreshadowing that he does grow back. So later on, once he's the little baby Groot, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I love it. I love that he just stepped in there. He's just like, that is my music.
Yeah. And he can understand how important it is to him.
Yeah. It's like his last gift from his mum kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or the last thing from Earth thing.
Yeah, and you can see the music matters to him. Like, it's that part of, like, they don't just stick this music in there. It's like, oh, this matters to this character. This is what he cares about.
And then the other guy's just looking at him like he's a bloody nutcase.
Yeah. And the goopy crap just to show off how toned Chris Pratt got.
He pretty much, I think he said in an interview, like, he just worked out like an hour before. So he was just like, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, time to eat some pizza.
Yeah, well, that's the trick you got to work out. Like, what's his name? Henry Cavill, when he's doing Man of Steel.
Yeah.
He says, like, he had gotten the schedule with his coach, and they knew exactly what day they were going to shoot his shirtless scene.
Right.
So they worked out to the day what his routine was going to be. So right up until he runs out from behind the shed, he was working out.
Because you do, like, isn't it like water retention or something, where, like, you...
you just dehydrate yourself.
Yeah. I think Hugh Jackman was doing that as well for Wolverine.
Yeah, you just don't eat, you don't drink any water, and then, like, you'd look ripped as fuck.
Yeah.
But then you're about ready to pass out.
Yeah, I bet.
And this is... There's a weird thing here now that's happening. Shut up about the second one! But in the second one, there was a scene cut out with... there's his name in the comics is Wonder Man. That's the character's name. He's an actor in the Marvel Universe. He's actually an actor. Simon Williams.
Okay.
Who was supposed to be played by the actor who's playing this bad character here. I don't know if you can recognize his voice.
I already know this one because I did some research as well.
Oh, look at you! First
you
time
you talking about Blue Dude?
Yeah, Blue Dude.
Yeah. But it's I don't watch the TV series, but it's from. I'm trying to remember the TV series.
I'm just seeing if you did your research. Did you do your damn research?
Oh, I did.
You didn't. You're lying. I can tell you're lying. But he did the voice of this, and then he was supposed to be in the second one as
right.
Simon Williams. They had like scenes from set or photos from the set of like fake posters. He did like he did a Steve Jobs autobiography kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
So they're gonna have him that, and then everyone's like, oh, so that means he's gonna be back and he's gonna be in the movies. But it's like, no, it's just a little cameo kind of thing.
His name's Nathan something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Nathan Fillion. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
That's the one.
Nathan Fillion, he's in this as the voice.
He's in the voice for the voice, but what was the TV series he was in that was so popular that everyone wanted more of?
Castle?
No, there's another one.
Nah, it's Firefly.
Firefly, that's the one, yeah. And then they did that film as well. So.
Like, Nathan's a good friend of, like, directors. Directors are always using him again and again. So he's a good friend of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
So he used them in Buffy. He used them in Firefly. You know, he's used them all along. But he's also friends with James Gunn. He's been in Slither, and I think he's been in another James Gunn film.
Okay.
And it's the same with Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu. I think he's been in every single James Gunn movie. I think he's like his Lucky Charm or something. Or maybe that's his brother. But I know there's a lot of directors have that nowadays. What's his name? J.J. Abrams has like his Lucky Charm actor that he tries to get in every movie.
Oh, really?
And when he was doing the original Star Trek, this will be a shout out to your missus, so she might know this fact.
Yeah.
He couldn't get the actor in to do a role. He didn't have enough time. He's like, I can't do the movie without him. So what they did is, do you know the young Kirk comes out of the car?
Yep, I know exactly.
The dad the dad who's given out to him, the stepdad. That's the actor. I can't remember his name now, but they got the actor and it's like, okay, now he's in the movie. Now I'm happy.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, that's a different movie. Let's get back to this movie.
It's a different film. Here's one interesting fact, which is fairly obvious. Drax never has a shirt on the entire film.
Also, Drax is grey, not green, which they've established. Because
he was also Batista. He was like super happy to be in a Marvel film. Apparently,
yeah.
So he was like when he got a call saying like you got the part, he was like bloody overjoyed because he's just always wanted to be in a comic book film and stuff. So
yeah, he's a bit of a nerd, that guy. I know he collects lunchboxes.
He does, yeah. You're watching it on Jimmy Kimmel or something, yeah?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
And this is
he's even better in number 2.
Yeah, like obviously wrestler.
We're not talking about number 2.
Yeah, wrestler in yeah, this is what we're doing, commentary on number 2, right?
Yeah, and then on number 2 we'll talk about this film.
But in this film, like, this is his first big film.
Yeah.
And he's a wrestler, so you're kind of like, oh, what's it going to be like?
Yeah.
But obviously by the end of this film, they're like, oh man, this guy's good.
Yeah.
And then on the second one, they're just like, just give him more stuff to do. Give him more stuff.
Definitely. There was one film I watched the other day, and I was just like, I was a little bit annoyed by it. I watched the A-Team. I love the A-Team, but the guy that played Mr. T, you know, he was the UFC fighter.
Yeah, Rashad
and I'm
Evans.
like, sure,
no,
he's
not Rashad Evans. Rampage Jackson.
Rampage.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of him, actually. The first time I watched it, I didn't think it was too bad, but the second or third time, I was like, nah, I think they could have got someone better. And I think they just chose him because he was popular at the time. But whereas Dave Bautista, like, he's awesome. Like, he's obviously a great wrestler, but he really does help this film. And he's incredible in number 2 as well. So I'm like, if they chose to, like, got rid of him, I'd be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Whereas Rampage, I'm like, yeah, you can get rid of him. I don't care.
That's that scene now that's happening with the whole throat thing. That's the audition scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you can go on YouTube, you can find it.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista.
I'm gonna have to look that up because this is hilarious, actually.
And there's actually, it's pretty good because they have a little bit of improv moments,
right?
Or something about you slept with a Raxtavarian or whatever it is. I can't pronounce it. And then Chris Pratt starts improving. You see Batista starts to do a little bit too.
Oh wow!
I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see them being good. A Raxtavarian.
It's take a while to do his
makeup
or whatever.
I think it's like 4 hours or something.
I think, and then you got Chris Pratt who literally just walks on set.
Yeah. Nah, he takes like 6 hours in the morning to look like that. It's a lot of effort. "22 prisons. That's a lot of prisons to break out of.
Oh yeah.
You think after the first one they kind of would have been like, we got to watch this goddamn raccoon.
Yeah, this isn't looking good.
Yeah, after 3 or 4, he's still breaking out. You're like, oh, come on, lads. You guys have really balls this up. You know he breaks out of prisons. He's like that prison break guy, but in raccoon form.
Why'd you put him in the prison with the hole behind the toilet? Why?
Yeah. Yeah, like the thing about the film is it's always got the influences of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But it's so good at just making them a part of it that this is the film everyone's stealing from now.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, at no point in this movie did I think it was ripping off anything else.
No, I didn't think so at all. And 2014 as well, so it was, 3-4 years ago. So
50 years ago.
57 years ago.
I'm giving us a lot of longevity, so maybe people listen to us longer. They'll come back and be like, oh, they recorded this in 2032.
You got someone knocking at your door or something?
I don't know what's going on. Someone's doing some bloody work.
Fair enough.
Who's working on the long weekend? For everybody who doesn't know, it's the Canada Day long weekend for us.
Yeah, happy Canada Day.
Yeah, that's why we decided to watch a happy movie, a good movie. Because next week we're watching a piece of shit.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a few more Rant films because we've done a lot of happy ones. Well, not happy, but ones that we enjoy and we like giving facts about. But we're going back to...
Yeah. Going back to Rant,
and shite.
Well, I guess these are Bollox films because these are films that we like, so there's no point in watching us comment over them because we're just ruining movies that are already good.
So they decided they were going to put Thanos in, and they put him in, and he looks like a fucking nutcase, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm glad they put him in because it's like they got him introduced like really early on.
I still don't like his introduction though. He's just kind of sitting on a chair.
This is one thing. I don't know if I'm being stupid here or what, but so he's obviously CGI there, but he's going to be what's your face?
James Brolin. Is that not Brolin? I thought Brolin was cast already.
He's cast as Cable as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Cable in Deadpool too.
Yeah, but so I'm guessing when they introduce him, he's not going to be that CGI guy anymore. He's going to be, he's just going to be the actor instead of this. You know?
Is that not him there now?
I don't think so. That to me was CGI.
It's CGI, but is it not like face capture CGI?
I don't know. I could be wrong. We're going to have to look that up.
That's impossible. We're never wrong.
So, I love that. Yeah, I need this guy's leg.
Yeah.
So good. This is so good because you kind of like they're setting up the scene. You're like, okay, this is gonna be good. There's gonna be, they're gonna be getting out of this prison. It's gonna be like a nice long scene, and it's like Groot just goes off right now, just to starts it all off.
Not Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin, yeah. I just checked it. Josh Brolin, he is Thanos in this.
Oh, really?
So that's what he's gonna look like.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The other thing is like this makes fun of. Sorry, you're just making fun of like the scene is great, but it's making fun of those kind of scenes where they do all the planning. And then the plan just goes out the window because Groot just takes it.
I know, yeah. He's just going up there now, giving it a nice little go.
Yeah. It's like that Ocean's 11 thing of like, okay, we're going to do this and that and that. And then like you see this montage, but it's like, no, that's not happening. We're just going to do a one shot and we're just going to have to improvise. Leg. That's some great CG on that rocket.
I know, yeah, they do a really good job actually.
They were just watching it. We've gone into that.
I know.
We've gone into that quiet time of like, yeah, we're just gonna watch the movie.
We're gonna enjoy the film that we like.
Yeah. I'm watching it, and I was like, this is definitely a film I've watched like 7 or 8 times now.
I'm the same. Yeah, it's definitely been close to 10.
And it's
here we go. His first words. Or second or something.
Same words.
The same ones.
But it's weird how... I don't know. It's against the problem I always make about bloody Hollywood and all that. But they had a guy who was in control of writing, directing. He co-wrote it with someone else, Nicole Perlman. But James Gunn was said, all right, here, make the movie you want to make with these characters that we don't care about. And it made like $100 million bajillion.
Yeah.
But that's not the thing anybody took away from it. Everybody watches and they saw, oh, he put pop music in. And that's it. It's like, no, it's not just because he put a song in, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because he actually had the control to make the movie he wanted to make and then could have fun with it.
Mm.
And then it becomes one of the most successful and popular movies. So I don't understand why they still have this mentality with the studios of like, I'm thinking of, Fantastic Four might be a bad example, but where they just step in and change everything to make it fit.
Sure.
Because there's...
they're almost like they're forcing it in, whereas this one it's just like, no, it makes sense that they're playing that music and it's this style and this theme,
Yeah.
It's definitely got really good comedy moments in it as well.
Yeah.
Like it just goes so well with it.
Oh yeah, like James Gunn's definitely got that down. I've said it before, like if you can do comedy and you can do action, then you're pretty much all set to do a Marvel movie.
Yeah, sure.
But he stands out because he also puts in heart into the movies. So it'd be interesting like what he's going to do after Guardians 3. Because no doubt this is a lot of fun to make these movies. But after doing 3 in a row...
Yeah.
Are they going to give him a different Marvel character?
Yeah, true.
Because that's
he'll want to try something different and change up his the usual role. They might give him something completely different. Like I don't know, like is it Captain Marvel or whatever?
Yeah, Captain Marvel maybe. I think they're going to try and make Captain Marvel very heroic though. Like I think they're going to make her the new. Not Superman, like Captain America kind of character.
Sure, yeah.
So having the kind of comedy thing might not work.
Might not work as much, yeah.
It's also interesting to see where they're going to go tonally. Because this film and 2, like it's going to be a bit of a leap getting from Civil War to this, to make Infinity War.
I know.
But I don't know where the films are going to go after Infinity War. Because it's nearly 100% that someone's dying in Infinity War. Which
also, is it after... Because Infinity War is split into 2, so is the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 after the second one as well?
Well, I don't know that. Maybe
because I'm just wondering whether Thanos has been taken down or not.
Yeah, whether or not they're going to be able to do a brand
also,
new story.
It's almost like what kind of enemy do
you
get?
Just kill that guy. That guy's dead.
I know he flew into that wall so friggin' fast. This is some other good one-liners from him in here.
Yeah, although they're kind of hard to hear. I guess just the way he delivers them, it's so deadpan.
That's all humor as well.
Oh yeah.
I love it. You got like Groot in the background.
Did he look
just
like?
Kind of looking around, just doing his own little thing.
Yeah, like that's a fully CG character, and they're just kind of like just sit him in the background.
Yeah, they're just like, just have him, looking at a wire, trying to eat it or something.
Yeah, like 20 years ago, that would have been the biggest shot in the whole movie.
Yeah, hero shot.
Goes over my head.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a solid casting. I don't know how they figured out Batista could do that.
No, I know.
It's just the comedy timing to come from him is great. I hope he does something big. I hope he gets like some new roles and stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else has he done. Oh, this is one thing I didn't know that he had done. He's done another film with Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah?
Do you know which one it is? It was one in the past.
The Witch's Apprentice. I don't know.
Riddick. He was in Riddick with Vin Diesel.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he must have been one of I guess one of the bad dudes. But...
Oh, he's in Spectre too, isn't he?
Oh, he is Inspector. Yeah,
he's the henchman with the nail thing.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that actually.
Yeah, he's scary as fuck because he's giant big bad guy. It's the other thing about being Dave Bautista. Like he could definitely, because he's done this where he's shown he can do comedy. I think he can break out of the normal.
I think so. I think
dumb
you're right.
Bad guy roles, but he could definitely still do the big strong guy. You know, like The Rock. The Rock has got the charm that he can play a hero and not just have to play the nasty guy.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting. I want to see how The Rock does if they actually go ahead and do Black Adam.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about him the other day, just as in like I do love The Rock, but I feel like he's in so many things now, so many things. It's like he's so good in like Fast and Furious. I'm just not sure how good he is in Jumanji, and then he's tried like the Scorpion King, and he's
kind
doing
of playing
Rampage.
it a bit safe now.
So yeah, he is. He's becoming like the Nicolas Cage or the Tom Cruise of just action films.
Hey, don't badmouth Tom Cruise, even though apparently
Tom Cruise is alright. He's alright.
Everyone shits on Tom Cruise, but he's got a quality track record.
Nicolas Cage though, he's gone off the radar.
Oh, he's insane now.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last Nicolas Cage film I seen.
He was going to be Superman.
Yeah, he was going to be Superman. That was probably the last movie I saw. I saw the Death and Life of Superman, the documentary all about what happened with that and everything.
Oh, cool.
It's real interesting for like nerds and even film guys and just how it all fell apart.
Right.
But that was getting made. That was right up there. It would have been pretty strange because that was Tim Burton.
It was?
Yeah, Tim Burton who did Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh, wow. Of course it was, yeah.
Because he's the biggest director of comic book movies, so we'll get him. But you're just like, holy shit. That would have been a weird-ass Superman movie.
It definitely would have been.
Maybe it would have been great. Maybe. No one else has been managed to make a good Superman movie, so don't know. Tim Burton couldn't have a chance.
Anyone can have a go.
Are they dead? They're dead.
Yeah, well, is that gun just frying their faces off, or is it like a stun gun?
I think there's two settings, but I think he's killing them.
I know he's
he's a bit stunned. Now he's dead.
No, that's pretty good. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's dead or not.
Well, it does kill people because he killed the guys at the start with it. So maybe that's just
it's probably like a little bit like a
version.
phasar in phasar.
What the hell's a phasar?
Phaser. I don't know why I called it phasar, but in Star Trek. Good old Star Trek.
You're a fake
Here we
fan.
go. Some more music, just settling in. He just killed some people in this corridor, and now he's getting his music back, isn't he?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like he's beating him to death with the Infinity Stone. That's in the little orb. Clonk. I wonder how they managed to do anything with the CG in the background, though. Like, if you're just going to stick in a character, I'm like, do we have to stand somebody there, or we'll just make them fix it in post?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll just fix that in post. Yeah,
Because like you said,
say that a lot.
We'll just put Groot in the background. It's like, we'll just put Groot in there.
Yeah, who's going to do the editing of that?
Yeah. That's what
that must be the worst thing you could hear on set. It's like, we'll just do it in post. It's like, we're going to be in post for 3 years, guys.
Yeah, this film's not coming out.
Yeah.
I'm watching this again now with more of an eye, because we can barely hear it, but I'm watching it. Like, the visuals in this are damn impressive.
Oh yeah, they do a really good job of the lighting and just even that space scene there, getting the colors right. Even where they are right now, they've got like a little green light in the back there, and just the mood. It all comes across really nicely. Yeah,
like James Gunn, he stepped up. That's what I gotta say. Like his other films, have you seen Slither or?
I've not seen
Super?
Slither. I've heard a lot about it. Heard a lot about it.
It's probably not good for you to be drinking so heavily when we're doing these commentaries.
Just
or drink more,
vodka.
so then you'll sound sober.
Just straight vodka. Don't even drink vodka. I don't even know why I said that.
But he's gone from doing very modest to low budget movies to doing this, and it just seems natural. It doesn't seem like he's afraid of the fact there's a big set or that there's.
I think it's when you introduce. When you like give someone a task like this to do, like he just naturally just stepped up for it. Some people would panic and they'd be like, and then maybe you might see them trying too hard, but he just stepped up to the role and did it really nicely.
Like, I don't know if anybody's seen Super who's watching that. Super is the movie he did with Rainn Wilson, the guy from the American Office.
Okay.
Dwight Schrute. And that's just like a real low budget film. Michael Rooker's in it as well. It's about a guy who just wants to be a superhero. So he gets a costume and he goes around trying to solve crimes.
Sure.
But it takes this weird tonal shift. Like, it goes from kind of innocent to being like, he has no superpowers. He's just like, it's just like a Batman kind of thing. So what he does, he just gets a giant monkey wrench and he beats people's heads in. And it's just like killing criminals and stuff.
Wow.
Like, it just takes this weird shift. But like, that was the film he did just before this one. So I'm just thinking of that. I'm like, what guy at Marvel was like, oh, we definitely have to give this guy $150 million to make a giant movie. But, he did a great job.
He pulled it off.
Yeah. So there has to be some... Like, obviously he's a great writer. He's written a lot. So
yeah,
I would guess that he came along, had like a good script. He said, if you want to make this script, then you have to let me direct it.
How much, because you know more about this area, but how much would he have got paid for this? Like, compared to, say, an actor, Like, I don't know how much Chris Pratt would have got paid, but I'm just wondering because of, the whole Wonder Woman stuff that came out recently. Apparently she got paid $300,000 for her role.
Yeah.
But then Robert Downey Jr. got, like, $50 million for Iron Man. I'm not sure if it was the first one or whatever, but she's asking for a heck of a lot more for Wonder Woman 2, which they're going to make. But how much does a director make? Obviously they're not on screen, but they're making the film.
Yeah.
Is it still
the way it
pretty good?
Usually works on, I think the Directors Guild of America has like a union rule of like, you make 5% of the budget. So the way it's supposed to work is 5% of the budget goes to the writer, 5% of the budget goes to the director, and then 10% goes to the producer.
Interesting.
But that doesn't happen anymore, because if you're making a $150 million movie, 5% of that is what, $7.5 million. So they're not paying that to a director.
Yeah.
And not on the first go. So with all these Marvel movies, and the general idea of franchises now is like, you sign a contract and it's like, for the first movie you get this, then the second movie we're going to bump it up. Then the third movie you get a bunch of it, because that's what happened. Everyone's making a big deal of Gal Gadot's low pay, but
yeah,
that's what I think. Chris Evans got $400,000 for the first Captain America.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, because they're saying, all right, you'll make $400,000 on the first one, but on the second one you'll make 4 million.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the third one you'll make 40 million.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of what Robert Downey Jr. did. He just played that a lot stronger. He's like, you know what? I want 30 million plus I want X amount of money.
Sure.
Once the film makes this much money.
And he has the pull to do that.
Yeah, but he's not stupid. Like, he's not going in there saying, give me $75 million.
Yeah.
He's saying, once this movie makes $1 billion, then I want 75 million.
Sure, yeah.
But he's confident enough in Avengers 2 to know it's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's why, like, it's not that he's getting... It's not a disparity thing, that's all I'm saying. It's like, I'd say Chris Pratt got maybe $250,000 or whatever for this movie. But for the next movie, he's going to make $2 million. And then on the third movie, he can be like, yeah, I want $25 million. And they'll give it to him.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's just a different system now because there's a lot more writing on these movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But the same works for the director. Like, James Gunn probably got maybe $1 million for this because he wrote and directed it.
And you've got to, like, link all the movies together as well, haven't you?
Yeah. But for Guardians 2, I'd say James Gunn might have pulled away with $30-40 million.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's making a good chunk.
Yeah.
So.
It's just you're kind of taking a risk with it, but it's like, who doesn't want to take that risk?
Of course.
The thing with the Wonder Woman, briefly, is that the director of that, Patty Jenkins, she didn't sign a contract like that. She signed a contract for one movie.
I was going to say, because I know that the Avengers signed... but she probably signed one to say that if that you will do number 2.
No, that's the thing. She didn't sign that. So
oh, really?
They're negotiating at the moment to get her back.
Interesting.
So she can demand a lot more money.
Of course you can, yeah. That's almost like that works in her favor.
Exactly. Because that's the thing. DC didn't expect it to do well, or they didn't expect her to do a good job.
Well, yeah, it could have gone the other way, as in, like, it could have done really badly, but she was still in a contract to do another one.
Yeah. And that's why, like we were saying, that's kind of the risk you're taking. Are you going to give them one movie?
Yeah.
And then if it's really good, they're going to come back and like, yeah, I want $50 million.
Totally, yeah.
But then it's the other thing of like, if the movie sucks and you want to get rid of them, you have to buy out their contract.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, at the end of the day, I'm not really crying about these millionaires. It's like, oh, boo-hoo. Marvel have only got so many millions of dollars.
Only 300,000. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Like, even here, the music is... It's not music that's played over the scene.
Yeah.
The music is... He's playing it for her. It just happens to be a romantic song.
Yeah. Good old Sony Walkman.
Actually, that's something to think about. I wonder how much work, how much money, if we're going to go on that route, the composer got for this film. Because there's not a lot of original music.
That's the thing, yeah. You're buying the license to the other stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that with the gaming podcast game that we put up, Wipeout. They couldn't get all the original music because it was either going to... Well, I guess it was just going to cost them a lot of money to relicense it. So they only got like half the track put on.
Yeah.
Same with this. Like I guess they just have to license the music for the show or for the movie. But there might have been maybe a track that they wanted, and it was like, you guys really charging this much, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm sure when you've got a Marvel film this big, they want their track to be played, you know?
And it's also, they're all tracks from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's not that they're not cool anymore, but they're definitely not selling the big records.
Yeah, yeah. But then it's like what I said at the beginning of the whole Grand Theft Auto. A lot of people went out and bought the soundtrack because they wanted... Because it was either the first time they were hearing that song, or they just thought, oh, my dad used to play this song, you know, kind of thing. Same with this, you know. It's like, this song's been around for a long time, but I have to admit, I put on the Guardians of the Galaxy track on the weekend sometimes, like their soundtrack. I mean, I could have put it on at any time on Spotify, but...
Right, you just didn't...
They're just bringing the songs back.
Yeah. And it's also for, like, the newer generation, like I said, they probably never heard these songs at all.
Of course, yeah. Well, they would have heard them just like in a cheesy film or their parents playing it or something.
Yeah. Be interesting to see just how much of the whatever the film's like 2 hours long, like how much of it is original songs, like original compositions.
This is so great. This is having a massive fight.
Yeah. And they're all drunk.
Yeah.
I love this. I love drunk raccoon.
Groot's just like, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah. And even this is pretty good, like, emotionally. Like, that's a CGI character.
I know, and you're kind of really feeling for him.
You're like, oh, poor little bastard. Actually, I'm thinking about it now. The second one, going back to it. I think Raccoon Boy there, Rocket's like the only character who doesn't have an arc in this film. Everyone else gets to like go from someplace to someplace else.
Right.
And then in the second one, it's definitely to give Rocket a lot more of a, you know, what's wrong with him kind of thing.
Yeah, you definitely see it for sure.
Yeah, because in this one, like, Gamora goes from being the bad girl to she becomes a good guy out for Thanos. He goes from being a stubborn prick to he's still a stubborn prick, but now he's like family and he's gotten past doing everything himself. And then Groot goes from being stupid idiot joke character to like the character everyone actually cares about.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh no, don't do it, Groot, don't do it. And then he's back as a baby, so it's okay. But that's a new character. That's what Gunn said. The baby Groot isn't that Groot growing again. It's a brand new Groot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so it doesn't have the memories.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure actually.
So
I guess so, because it's just like it's just a child in a way.
Yeah. The thing about this scene that drives people mad is James Gunn has said there's something in this scene that no one's found yet. That's an Easter egg.
Oh, nice.
And he says that there's an Easter egg in the second one that nobody will ever find, because he's hidden it in some way, and he'll probably release it down the line. But it's weird because everyone's looked through this. They've looked at like, oh, there's Cosmo the dog. You know, Howard the Duck is in it at the end.
Sure.
You can see one of the elves from Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, you really can see a lot.
But like, people have gone through this scene frame by frame.
Of course.
So whatever it is must be something very strange.
Yeah, it's got to be something minute, like that's the bone of something. Or
And like there's like shapes that you can't see them, like they're standing like silhouettes, and like people have tried to guess who's in there or whatever.
Yeah, there was a silhouette just a second ago behind there, and it was, but you know, again, that could be it, but who is it?
Yeah, I don't know if he's that silly, because like that's not an Easter egg you can get. But it's one of those things that's bugging people, because we're nearly 4 years later.
I know. Yeah, they're still trying to analyze each scene.
Yeah, but it's cool that he went to that much effort to put it in.
Yeah, it's nice. That kind of a nice little nod to the fans, or you know, have a look through frame by frame. He knows people are going to go frame by frame. Yeah,
I've heard people say, why was Drax so stupid to call?
I was
Ronan?
just literally about to say something like that. I find it a little annoying that he went and did that, but he just wants him dead.
But it's also he's still drunk.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you don't really,
because he's stumbling out of the bar and he's like, radio. I can call.
So he's just doing a stupid drunken thing, isn't he?
So if you look at the images on the sides here, the Celestials are the giant. They kind of look like robots, giant robot creatures that destroy the planet with the big staff.
Oh,
that thing there,
yeah.
So that's what Ego is. He's one of them.
Right.
So I don't know if they're supposed to be not god creatures or like close to god, because Ego's pretty close to being a god.
Yeah, of course.
He makes his own planet for God's sake.
Yeah.
I just want to see if they're gonna have them, because I want Galactus in this universe. I want there to be a proper Galactus, big purple-headed guy trying to destroy a planet. I just love watching Rocket. Should have closed.
I'm looking around the room now. I'm like,
you're just trying to find where
Easter egg.
Oh, and here's a little fact. He is, or at least in the comics, I think in this will be the same. He's the brother of the Games Master or Grandmaster, who's Jeff Goldblum's character in Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
Yeah, so they're supposed to be brothers.
Ah, okay.
Although in the comics, they're more powerful. They're like celestial level. They've been around for millions of years, whereas here they just seem to be like regular guys. Oh, poor girl. All she wanted was freedom. That'll teach you. Stay in your job. Stay in your lane.
Got it. Boom.
It's great that all the explosions are bloody purple too.
They were just like, hey guys, we got some more budget.
Make it a slow-mo.
Yeah, make it a slow-mo. We can afford that.
Because
that
whole shot must have been CG, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because you got a tree carrying a raccoon.
Looking for some casting.
Yep.
Looking for a tree and a raccoon that's available. That's cool.
That's Cosmo the dog. He's in the comics.
Oh, he is he?
Yeah, I think he's the dog that the Russians sent up, and then real aliens took him. I think he's supposed to be intelligent, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow.
As in, like, he talks now and stuff. Yeah, I think that's it.
If a raccoon talks, I'm sure a dog can.
Yeah, I think him and Howard the Duck hate each other.
Oh, God. Howard the Duck. I was so confused by that, but then did some reading up, and I know why he's kind of in there, or isn't, like, they just threw him in.
Well, they're still
a lot of people are petitioning to actually have a movie.
Yeah, get a movie with him. James Gunn says, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to waste his time on that.
But that's what he would say, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'd lie to us.
Unless the money's there.
Like, one of the things that was supposed to be in the collector's chamber was the shell, the egg cocoon thing of Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Which you see at the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's not the Easter egg. Something else you're missing.
Right. They've all turned up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot in this that makes you think Yondu's a good guy.
I know, but still, even the way he's just like, well, the way he's talking to him is still kind of dad-like in a way. It's just like, why'd you go away kind of thing, He's not just like aiming a gun at him or getting his spear and throwing it through his head.
No, it's true. It's kind of benign.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll chase him, but I'm not going to like chase him real bad.
I love that all the gear and everything is all kind of got that 80s vibe to it, like the metal, and it's all like kind of yellowish, and just some of the art design has still got that kind of retro vibe to it. Yeah,
everything's got a bit of color to it and a bit of pink. It's not all dull space gray Apple iMacs everywhere. It's also everything's got its own look to it.
He's so fucking pissed off, isn't he?
Yeah. It's another cool little reversal because you think, oh, Drax is going to have a big fight with him. It's like, nope, just kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, imagine, like, I'm just thinking of, like, doing a scene like this, which is all CG with a few actors on a green screen sitting there. Like, to go from a movie like Slither, which is kind of like a little horror comedy thing, to that, I'm just like, that's a leap in skill. Like, where do you sit down and practice this kind of stuff? Because like, oh, I didn't like that shot. It took us 3 months to do that shot. It took $1 million. Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry, I should have explained myself better. Yeah, you should have explained yourself better, director. You idiot. And also, you got to hand it to like Chris Pratt in this scene. He's sitting in a green screen with like a few things around him, talking to a character that's not there.
I know.
Surrounded by things that aren't there.
These days, actors have really got to act, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're just talking mostly to no one or a green screen, like you said.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Like, that's like day one of interview at Marvel stuff. It's like, all right, we need you to talk to this wall for 5 minutes and make us believe it.
Exactly.
It's like, what? It's like,
that's a really good point. That's probably an audition thing, isn't it? Just talk to the green wall.
Yeah, talk to the wall. Not even the green wall. This is just like downtown New York.
Yeah.
You're just in the apartment, just talk to that wall for 5 minutes.
And then have just like a bunch of people staring at you. There was actually some video that got leaked. It was just like they were filming Infinity War, and it was Benedict doing his Doctor Strange in the streets. Someone was just filming it from their apartment building, but you could just see him, and he was doing all these arm movements, and you can tell that he obviously had like his shield up and all that lot.
You're
but
right.
you couldn't see any of it. I was like, it's just him in the middle of whatever, New York, just swinging his arms around.
Oh, I've seen that. That's the one where like they're doing the chase scene, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
And like they all have to do a little jump because that's supposed to be the jump into the portal.
Yeah,
it's really
nuts.
funny. They're all like,
it's nuts when you do you do all of that, and then suddenly you see the film, and you're like, wow, did a really good job.
Yeah, you never even think about it. But I'm thinking of like the really not bad CG, but the films where it just feels like the actors are like just not there, like the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
where like everything was CG, even the characters, and there's just some scenes where you can see what's his name? Ewan McGregor. And you can just feel like in his eyes, like he's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
He's like sitting in a fake green screen. And it's just
totally.
Like, ugh. Like if you can't get your head around that, you're just never going to be able to do like anything emotional. But I guess like nowadays, I wonder if that's a thing. Like at acting schools nowadays, do they teach people how to act against green screens and fake shit?
They must do, dude, because they got to change. They change courses and everything to adapt to 2017.
Just like, all right, we're putting a tennis ball on the stick. I'm going to pretend it's a giant monster, so you guys just react to it. But I've said this before. That's why I think a lot of British actors do better in Hollywood than American actors, especially in like the big CG blockbusters like this, because a lot of them have gotten trained in like RADA and the theater.
Sure.
And then they'll be doing that for maybe 5 to 10 years, like learning all the tools.
Of course, yeah.
And just trying to imagine that you're someplace else while you're on stage when there's 400, 500 people looking at you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's a very specific skill of being able to take yourself out of the moment.
Yeah.
And put yourself into the character's head.
Yeah, yeah.
And then because it's a theater, you're doing that for like 30 or 40 minutes without a break. Like you could be on stage for the whole, first 2 acts of the play. And then maybe you get a 5-minute, 10-minute break, and then you got to come back and do it again. So if you take an actor like that, like Benedict Cumberbatch, and you take him to a movie and you say, all right, I need you to pretend that there's a monster there for the next 45 seconds. Yeah. You're like, that's easy. Like that's it. I don't have to do it for like 40 minutes. It's like, no. You only have to be in the scene for 45 seconds, then we're going to move the camera around. Yeah. It's like, wow.
And I'm getting paid more money?
Yeah, and I'm getting paid enough money to buy my own theater? Yes, you are. So just like actors
I'm doing a quick bathroom break, so everyone do a shot, and you can talk to everyone about those shots.
Leave me at the quietest, saddest moment in the film.
Yeah, you just hear you crying. I'm actually just going off to cry. That's
you just can't be in the room when this happens. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna leave you crying. Yeah, so maybe he's not fully human when he takes this off, and that's why he doesn't die. Or maybe he is completely human and they're not in real space, because that looks like it has a kind of atmosphere to it. Can you tell that I'm overcompensating because Al's not here, so I'm not giving anybody else a chance to talk? But why don't you pipe in, dedicated listener? Tell me what you think of this movie. Give it let's say, a rating out of Guardians. So of 5 Guardians, what would you give it? Well, that was disgusting. I can't believe you said that out loud. But there you go. I still wish they didn't kill Peter Serafinowicz, though. He would have been great. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Also, I don't want to think about this scene because it just gets me emotional. Actually, thinking of that scene now, back to the second movie, which is what we're doing a commentary on. It's kind of a nice throwback that he's sacrificing himself for Gamora, just like Yondu sacrifices his life in the same situation. Spoiler alert there, I guess. He was so brave, so heroic. It must be so hard to pretend you're in love with Zoe Saldana. I mean, you must get paid millions of dollars to fake that. It's just so heroic.
Lovely scene to leave you with.
Yeah. Shush, I'm watching Zoe Saldana. I'm just saying Chris Pratt's such a great actor. Like, how hard is it to fall in love with her? Like, he's just got to put everything into his role.
She's beautiful on the inside, dude.
They got the orb. Yeah, so that guy...
So the guy on the left is
Kraglin.
His brother? James Gunn's brother?
That's Sean Gunn, and he's also the guy who does Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, that's funny. I was watching a couple of, like... reading up on a couple of, like, oops things, I guess, in films, but I don't know, like, people are super critical, but you know, like, he just poked him in the chest there. For the rest of the film, you don't see a hole in his chest. Like, he's got no hole in his chest right now. But I don't know. Like, there's a couple of things like that, and then at the beginning where he's...
But you gotta remember, he can get whacked off a tree and be alright, so maybe he's got super healing.
Well, we saw him in number 2, yeah. Like, he was... like, there was a rat at the beginning of the film where Chris Pratt was, like, talking into, like, a microphone, and then it cuts to the scene and he's not holding it anymore. But I'm like, that's an edit. Like, there's some time have gone... You know, like, maybe 30 seconds has gone by and he's dropped it, you know? There's some... Like, we're critical people, but there's some, like, crazy critical people. This is, like, it's a film at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, it's always about whether or not it's going to affect the movie, like, as you go along. That's what kind of gets me. Those are the ones that I complain about.
Of course.
Like, I don't care that his hair is a different length in this shot than that shot.
Sure.
But it's the things like when we go to the Alien Covenant. I won't spoil it, but you know, there was a thing in that.
Yeah.
There was a definite... They left something out, and I was like, you can't do that. That's a deliberate mistake or misleading the audience. Like, when you're doing that, that's when I get pissed off.
Of course, yeah.
But here it's like, I did not even think of his hole in the chest.
Of course.
Until you said it. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't affect anything
It's not going to bring down his IMDb because the hole in his chest has disappeared.
Yeah. Anyway, you just say he heals real fast. He's superhuman.
I was also looking up the budget, and the budget for this is $170 million.
It's $170 million.
Estimated 170. So
yeah, so this movie cost less than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know. And for the amount of, like, CGI, like, they're in space. Also, I really like the design of that ship there.
It's pretty sweet.
It's nuts.
I like how it kind of turns, like, when they're moving.
Yeah. They're still using these projectors.
Yeah, like, nearly every scene in this has got CG in it.
I know, yeah.
And the whole thing takes place in space. Here's a fact I found.
All right.
Other people who were supposed to audition for the voice of Rocket Raccoon: David Tennant.
Oh, really?
H. John Benjamin, who people might know from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Really? Wow.
Sharlto Copley, who you saw on A-Team there. And Adam Sandler.
Oh, wow.
So they were considered for the role of Rocket Raccoon.
Huh. That's pretty cool, actually.
It is, but I wouldn't have liked any of them.
I
think Sharlto Copley would have done a good job.
Yeah, he might have been alright. I wouldn't have... Yeah, I don't think I would have seen him as, like, a British David Tennant or anything like that.
No, David Tennant, no. Besides, Tennant is in... oh, crap. Bloody... Jessica Jones.
What's that, sorry?
He's in Jessica Jones.
Really?
Yeah, David Tennant. He plays Purple Man.
Ah, you're right, of course. Yeah. There we go. Beat him up.
Yeah, like that's the way dads always treat their kids.
Of course. Never mind the wooden spoon. Just jab him in the stomach.
Yeah. Leaves no bruises, and you can send him to school in the morning. It's another good thing about the writing in this film is that it sounds like another one of those obvious things, but everybody gets a joke.
Yeah.
But they're not all the same type of jokes.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of jokes that Drax makes, no one else makes that kind of joke. And I know that's kind of a criticism people make of people like Joss Whedon, where everybody sort of sounds like they're making their same jokes.
Right.
But in this, you can definitely tell that each of the characters are making their own kind of jokes.
Yeah, totally. It's not just been written for them kind of thing, and it's just like, Yeah, it's all the same style. They've all got their different, unique things.
Yeah, like the humor's always from them. It's not like, oh, I need a joke here, so I'm going to make this person say it. Even though it doesn't sound like something that they would say. How cool is that arrow thing too?
Yeah, I really like that.
Like, and it's so weird because it starts off and he just shows the arrow and everyone goes real quiet, and then now you see that like he whistles and the arrow moves. You're like, oh, okay, I see. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, but he uses it pretty well, like later on, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they just build to it. I think it's really. They didn't just start off being like, his arrow is the most dangerous thing in the universe. This kind of shit. They're just like, oh, he's got an arrow. People are a little bit scared of the arrow. Okay, what's this all about? And then when he finally does use it and he kills like whatever 20 bloody people, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You can understand because like it seems ridiculous in space with these bloody rockets and not rocket the raccoon, but like actual rocket ships and space lasers that he's got an arrow. You're like, what? Why has he got an arrow? This is also cool.
Oh, I love this one.
Like here's a great point of like the scene making something funny rather than sticking a joke in. It's like gives him 3 seconds. Like, what were you going to do after 3 seconds? What did they have?
I love it. He's just standing on top of the ship.
Yeah.
He did like a similar thing in number 2 as well.
Yeah, he's hanging at the back.
Loves getting out there.
Yeah. What were we going to do in 5 seconds?
He's like, no, we're all good.
Like here's a weird one. So there's 3 actors there, and then the raccoon would have been played by Sean Gunn.
Yeah.
In his green suit. But Groot isn't there at all.
Yeah, he's not there at all. So they're just like that's a great one. Some
of the stuff in the background there, that's probably a bit of CG on the screen.
Sure.
But it's like a good set. It's a nice set. Like it's just so cool. Like it seems like the perfect kind of movie to be working on.
I just love that 2 of those guys are just CGI guys and they interact with each other like so well.
And the best line in this whole scene is actually improvised by Sean Gunn.
Oh yeah.
The rocket stands up and he's like, all right, now we're all standing like a bunch of jackasses.
Oh cool.
Yeah, he just made that up on set.
Oh, that's great.
I guess you can do that when your brother's the director. I wasn't listening.
He's so good. So do you know about the 12%? Have you done your research?
No, what's that?
12% apparently gets used a lot in Marvel films, but it was also Tony Stark used it when he in I think Iron Man 2 or in Avengers where he was giving Pepper some percentage of the Stark Tower.
I remember that. Yeah.
So he gave her 12% of 12% of it.
No, the joke in that is, something like, what are the chances of them going out or something like that, isn't it?
I thought she wanted part of the company or something, and he was like, you can have 12%.
But isn't there another joke?
There's many. There's other ones as well.
I'm thinking of the one with Coulson.
Oh, okay.
In Avengers, where
it might be that as well. Yeah.
He's like, how much does he care about her? Someone's like, like 12% or something. And then she's like, that's going to come back and get him. And then later on, she says it too.
Yeah.
So where's that come from? Is there a reason they use 12%?
I think they just used it for like the last few films for a while. It's a bit like what you said of James Gunn. He's got like the actors, or no, it wasn't James Gunn. It was, having his lucky actor and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
Well, James Gunn's got it. Michael Rooker's his lucky actor.
Right. So it's just like something they introduced into one of them, and they were like, let's just keep using that number.
Yeah.
So.
Like another thing.
We'll hear it again, I'm sure.
The Marvel Phase 2. I think this is Phase 2. It's supposed to be a nod to Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Spoiler for Empire Strikes Back there, guys, but Luke Skywalker loses his hand.
Whoa.
So I think in every Marvel movie in Phase 2, somebody loses an arm or a hand. So you can see it like all the way along, I think all the way up until Civil War, and after that it stops.
Right.
But if you go through all the movies, they all lose arms or a hand at some point. And in this one, it's obviously when Groot gets his arms chopped off.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one of those Empire Strikes Back things.
Oh, that's quite cool, actually.
And then,
I like that.
yeah, Civil War's the last one where Bucky loses his arm.
Right.
And obviously that's the same one where Spider-Man makes the joke about Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, yeah.
When he's webbing up Giant Man, a.k.a. Ant-Man, a.k.a. Scott Pym.
Hearing some decent things about the Spider-Man as well.
The Spider-Man, yeah, we'll be
Spider-Man.
Review that next week.
Yes, yes.
That's why everyone comes to our commentaries, so they can hear about things.
So we can talk about other films.
Yeah, other films, and talk about things that'll happen next week. Even though this this is in the future, so it's already out. So
next
you already
week
know.
is what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you've listened to this, you're already going to go see Spider-Man anyway.
Oh yeah. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is still out, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just
still
about.
out.
It's probably just around leaving.
It's probably getting into the stage of being video on demand now.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll be on Netflix, and then we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that after our budget.
This one's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. That was improvised, yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
Hmm.
And once again, the music kicks in because he's listening to it on his headset.
Of course, yeah.
And just this week, obviously, because we're ruining time, this week, which is the future past for you listening to us now, listeners, I saw, and you saw, Baby Driver.
Oh, yes.
And Baby Driver is the same in that it has lots of music in it.
70% of the film is music.
Yeah, but it's all because he listens to music constantly as a character.
Mm.
And obviously the reason for that in the movie is tinnitus.
Yeah.
So he's got a ringing in his ear, so he plays music to drown that out.
Yeah, yeah.
So
good old Edgar there.
Yeah. Now that seems like a stupid little thing, but if you don't put that in, if you don't put in that little bit of effort, then just sticking in random pop songs just seems stupid to me.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah. And I think
it's okay to have a song in if it matches the film and it goes with it, or it's just like I guess Star Trek, for instance, or even Star Trek, they played it on the thing. I was going to say
like even
Beastie
in Star
Boys,
Trek, which is
it.
You can kind of get annoyed because it's a track from nowadays, but there's a reason that they play it.
Well, actually, there is, because it's him when he was in the car. He was playing Beastie Boys in the first one, and then they played it in the third one.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, in that film, it makes sense because they need something loud, and Jayla, the alien girl, she listens to that music anyway.
Yeah.
So they already set up that that's what she's listening to, so that's on her playlist.
Totally, yeah.
And it's just a stupid thing like that, but that's what a screenplay is. It's all those little stupid things make up for a big moment. So this whole film is just him listening to these songs. It gets you connected to the character, and then at the end of the film, the track is blown up. It's destroyed. So when he finally opens that present from 26 years ago, and it's a new tape, like that matters. Like it's now a really cool moment.
It's also like we are kind of jumping ahead, but the end of this doesn't it say like the Guardians of the Galaxy will continue or something like that, or
will
they
return? Yeah,
it's like that's pretty cheeky and bold.
But I always remember that from James Bond movies. Remember in James Bond movies,
right?
It would end and then it would go, James Bond will return.
Yeah, I guess so.
And sometimes they'd have a name. They'd already be shooting it. And sometimes they wouldn't.
Sometimes I like looking at the design of the costumes. You see those guards behind there, like those three little light up thing. Oh, there. What? Yeah. What the hell is that?
Well,
it's like,
the thing
is it like an Iron Man thing? You know, like
that's their little symbol.
Yeah.
But one of the characters that's not supposed to be in Marvel, that is in the Marvel universe, is Nova, who's one of these guys that got like cosmic powers. And people thought, oh, so now that we're going to have these guys, maybe one of these people is going to become Nova.
Okay.
But it hasn't happened yet. They haven't mentioned it. Now that they're bringing in Captain Marvel, I don't know if they're going to bring Nova in because they're kind of similar.
Okay.
So you don't need one of the... There, you see like the ship's turning. It's got his little gears going.
Turning it up. He's got the burning in from going into the atmosphere.
Still, that's a weird deck. Like you can't even see out the front of it.
It is very odd.
That's not a place you would find Captain Picard. Yeah, like I'm watching it now with a different eye. I'm like, all of this is CG. This is all computer.
You just take it for granted, don't you?
Yeah.
We're blind.
And we're blind too. It's also a cool thing about this this aerial fight scene, is that it does take place in 3 dimensions.
Right.
Like a lot of time, the original Star Trek could be like face to face. Remember that?
Sure.
That's how they used to fight in space. It's like pew pew.
I see what you mean.
But I love now, like, tech has gotten to the point where you can have 3D fight scenes.
There's one of my favorite scenes in this is when they get the wall going. We'll talk about it more when it happens, but it's just like, it's crazy when they build that wall of all the ships. Like, super cool design, but then like what happens as well? It's like, bloody hell.
That's a very pretty.
She's
girl.
got that iPad there. She's like, multitasking.
She's just sending out blog requests. She's like, yeah, I'm not even caring. It's not my job. It's my day off.
She's playing Mario Kart. Actually, they've done that in Avengers. Remember on board the ship, that guy's playing the game.
That man is playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Don't pretend we didn't notice.
So good.
Although I saw a fan theory about that, which is funny, is that Galaga is what happens at the end of Avengers. There's all these aliens coming down from the sky.
Yeah.
And then you have Iron Man who has to go up and shoot them all and close the portal.
Mm.
So it's like a weird foreshadowing. It's like,
that's interesting.
Oh, it's Galaga. That's what it is.
Sometimes I reckon that happens and they don't even mean to do that. Like, I don't even know if that was on purpose or not.
Yeah, I don't know if Joss Whedon wrote that. Like,
yeah. But like, can you imagine if one of those like really took off and went viral online? Like, how clever is this? And then Joss Whedon's like, yep, I planned that.
Yep, that was me. I did that. Yeah. Well, sometimes fan theories are better than the bloody film you get.
Oh yeah.
Not all the time, but every now and again there's a couple that makes you think, oh, okay. That could be a good thing. It's not true, but it could be a good thing. Like the biggest one I've heard was in The Matrix, Neo isn't the one, Mr. Smith is the one.
Oh yeah.
And then there's one I like, which is Minority Report. Spoiler for Minority Report. It's a great film. Tom Cruise, again, great track record, Alex. I know
fantastic.
You hate him. But you know Minority Report where
film.
he gets arrested and he gets put into the capsule.
Yes, yeah.
Everything that happens after that is in his dream.
Ah.
So the end of the movie is he fails.
Right.
But everything after that's him in the dream state. Because they say something like they have pleasant dreams or like a paradise or whatever.
Huh. Yeah, yeah.
So he's just seeing a perfect finale.
I love that. He's just laugh.
Yeah.
Nutcase.
Just like Kevin Bacon. Like, that's a great joke that she can make because it's a joke that we get that she doesn't see it as funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great character joke.
It's like Captain America and Avengers where they made another joke and he was like, I got that reference.
I got that reference. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz, yeah. The flying monkeys.
And then Thor is like, he's adopted.
That's something people were saying is they could do between Chris Pratt and Chris Evans, the Chris brothers. Is that the both of them are kind of, they won't get any references.
Yeah.
So Iron Man can make a reference to like Beyonce or something, and Captain America and Star-Lord would be like, what? You know, it's just one of those nice little, they're both out of time characters.
Yeah, totally.
Here you go. Here's your shield scene.
Everybody unite.
Yeah. It's like Cosmic Power Rangers.
It's an awesome little mechanic. I like it.
Yeah. Or maybe this is like the first time they've built it. They just hoped it works.
I feel like this is something like Tony Stark would make, you know, with his robots. And they'll be like, everyone connect together. But the fact that he'd build it so there wouldn't be humans in them.
I wonder if they're going to have robots in Infinity War. They were going all right until he made them vicious, sociopathic, genocidal creatures.
It went tits up. I think he's not in the mood for that anymore, is he?
Nah, I guess.
I love Drax just holding this rocket launcher.
Yeah. Here's a nice, cool little moment of like, how do we make people like Groot? It's like, oh, he'll have another little power that, if you think about it, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But in the scene, it just works perfectly.
But you just love him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like going back to number 2 again, when he's the small little dude, and then the scavengers, and they're like, just cook him up or beat him, and he's like, we can't do that, he's adorable.
Yeah. Send him down to the tailor.
Yeah.
To give him a little jacket. Not scavengers, ravengers? We
Maybe
always
they're
get this
Ravengers,
wrong.
yeah.
Ravagers, isn't it?
I think it is Ravengers, yeah.
We should really know. We've watched this movie 7 times, we said. People are like, you guys haven't watched this movie at all. You're talking about number 2 the whole time.
This is the first time we've ever seen
Yeah,
it.
we didn't know there was a first one. We thought it was called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Thought that was the name. Didn't know there was a first one.
This dumb tree. So good.
But this is like the heart, like I was talking about. It's like, that's a joke. Calls her a green whore. She tells him to shut up. And then Drax has this moment. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a great moment that other directors wouldn't have put in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, we don't need that 5 seconds. I'm like, but that's the 5 seconds that I want to see. Because if you don't have any heart to the movie, if you don't have anybody feeling anything, then we're just watching stuff happen.
Yeah.
But every now and again, it's good to watch stuff happen like this.
This is a good one. This
Just
is
a
like
kick-ass scene. You don't need any emotion for this.
I think they needed it though, because like just to show how powerful this blooming arrow is.
And also, why is he in charge?
Yeah, why is he in charge exactly?
It's just crazy. And that's the thing, like, you've been waiting for this for the whole movie and it works. You're like, yes! Kick the shit out of them.
It went through the ship. Like,
Yeah.
it found like a little place and went through.
Yeah, it went through a spaceship.
I love it. The spaceship just like quits. That was nothing for him. He's just like,
Yeah.
well, because in number 2, again, we're talking about number 2. Yeah, that scene's great, and the music that goes along with it as well.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot more movies in future who will learn from putting pop songs in, but they're going to try and find new ways of, like, how can we make sure they're playing this on a tape recorder somewhere?
Yeah.
That's why I brought up Baby Driver, of like, they have a reason for it happening.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like, you're going to run out of reasons for it happening pretty quick.
Mm.
Which is good, because I think it's getting overkill now. It's like every trailer is a bloody pop song.
Yeah. Like one Suicide Squad, the song for it was actually really, really popular. It made the charts. It was in the top 10.
Yeah.
And that promoted the film quite well as well. So.
And it's like, it's not DC or a Marvel thing. Like Marvel, like you said, they did it with Thor Ragnarok, and but they didn't do it with Black Panther. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're getting away from it now.
They have to spend their money on the poster and make sure it's not fucking photoshopped.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at it because we had one of our users commented on it as well. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a closer look at this, and I was like, oh, it's not the greatest.
No. I thought that'd be the first thing you'd spot, would be like,
I never saw it in high res. I always saw it in IMDb as like a little thumbnail.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever.
But in high res, like, Jesus. Yes, he finally got called Star-Lord. Did you just call our listeners users?
Robots, androids.
Does that make us whore? We're whores. They're using
us. Whores.
I'm a green whore because I'm Irish.
Respect.
Maybe that's what Groot will say in the third one. He'll have like a drag race.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I am Groot. I have respect.
I don't even like fish.
Family. It's the only other word he says. And this is pretty cool too. Like, it's this kind of aerial gun.
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually something that you think, like, if they had the ships like that, they would actually do. You know?
Yeah. It's like a practical way of fighting rather than trying chasing them.
Yeah, yeah.
Just turn them into fixed turrets and just...
I like that. I think that place is filmed in London. Like, they use some of the London...
Skyline?
Skyline. Apparently you can see, like, the Millennium Bridge in it or something.
Oh, cool.
So
he's definitely killing them there.
Yeah, he's definitely killing them. But his gun isn't actually on that electricity anymore, is it? It's on the yellow stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's like the phasar.
We solved it.
Red is dead.
Phasar.
Blue turns you to glue or whatever.
Goodness me, phasar. I just heard you say it, and I'm like, what was I thinking? Oh.
Drax is growing as a person. Metaphor. I'm Mary Poppins.
This is great.
Yeah. Like, it's another one of those moments of you expect it to be another big fight, but then he ends it in a really cool way. So you're like, yep, that works.
And those guys are definitely dead.
Oh, yeah.
And then the smile.
Yeah, that's what sells it.
Yeah.
He's just so vicious, and he's like, oh, I did good, right? I'm just thinking now of one of the plot holes is he could probably survive jumping out of this thing, right?
This guy?
He's that strong, I think, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he does go down a bit as well.
Yeah, so like he could just jump right out the window now,
Mm.
hit the planet, and then it would blow up.
Yeah,
Although-
this is what I find like nuts about this scene. Like, I love that they were like holding the ship off. I love that design and everything. And then now I remember watching this thinking, he is blowing all those ships up. Like, I'm like, this is nasty. This is really nasty. And it made me like really fear for the world. I'm like, he could actually blow up this world.
Although now I'm thinking about it, if the world blows up, doesn't he die too?
I don't know. Yeah, he's got that Infinity Stone. I don't know if he can survive in some way, in some bubble or whatever. And
But even if he
picked up.
survives in a bubble, yeah, he's just going to be floating around in space till someone comes by.
But I guess that's the thing with a bad guy. Is like he's just an absolute maniac. But he does want to kill Thanos as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think he's thought it through. I don't think he's thought it through, Paul. I think he's just going down.
Yeah, I don't think he's the kind of guy who sits down.
Interesting. He's gone back to purple. He went back to purple. He was shocking all those guys.
Maybe he thought those guys just have a family. They're just doing it for the paycheck. They're not like real thugs, you know.
These guys got kids.
Yeah.
I'll just shock their balls off.
Thanos is like cosmic ISIS. He's like real bad guy, but the rest of them are just like in it for the money.
Yeah. This woman just pisses me off.
There was such a controversy about her when she shaved her hair for this.
Oh yeah.
Because this is Karen Gillan. She's
right.
I think she's in Doctor Who. She's in Jumanji. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I know. I actually saw her during a Comic-Con panel, and she had her hair because it was for number 2, I think, or something. And then I was like, "Whoa! I did not recognize you."
Yeah, but I couldn't understand how people were getting upset. Like, she's got beautiful red hair, and then people are like, "Oh my god, she shaved her head off in this movie." I'm like, "Yeah, it's her hair. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
She can do literally whatever she wants."
Yeah, like that's no one gives a shit when somebody's like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds shaved his head for Deadpool or whatever." It's like, no one gives a fuck. But it's like, "Oh, a pretty girl shaved her head. We got to have an internet discussion about this."
Yeah. I love that gun that he used there. I just thought it was very makeshift, and he just
holding
it together, 2 hands. It was like wrapped around his waist. It wasn't just some super high-tech crappy gun.
Yeah. See, like, I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing like on the gun the little targeter red thing there.
Yeah,
and I just know that was someone like you, just some fucking nerd who spent like 4 months on that.
It's not flashing at the frames per second that we want.
Yeah, and then he's like,
fix it.
Like a week before the film came out, he's like, you know what? I should give it a little curve. Just in the top
give it
left,
a little curve.
Just a little curve.
That little red circle.
Yeah.
It's not a circle. It's 90% like oval.
It's got 3 pixels off. We can go back. We can fix it.
The purple in his eyes is the wrong purple.
But those are the kind of folks who are working on this. Like at the end of the movies, I don't know about other people, but when a movie ends, I sit there and I watch the credits.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's the least I could do for these people who have spent hundreds of hours of their lives making that little red dot just the right ovally red shape.
Totally.
Like, they've spent so much time making sure that fire in the background is the way it is, and that bloody landscape that we can just see for half a second is there.
I know. So much detail goes into it.
Like, have you ever seen, there's The Incredibles, and then on the DVD of that, they have Brad Bird, there's this huge, like, 2-hour making of. And I remember watching that years ago, and it was such a great documentary just to make you realize how much work goes into those Pixar films.
Right.
Like any kind of film like that.
Yeah.
But for that, where the whole thing's in a computer, and they're like, "Oh, we have to make sure this tree in the background it's not right, so we have to go back and redo it." And
you're just like, they have to render those frames.
Yeah. And like in that, he was very enthusiastic about the people no one ever hears about, like the programmers and the code writers who are just no one ever thinks about thanking them. They always thank the actors and the director. He's like, no, these are the real geniuses.
Yeah,
these are the guys who actually make this stuff happen. So
the amazing thing like there where Groot's wrapping around them, like going back to like the acting again, is like he wasn't doing that obviously. So
Yeah.
they were all like looking around, and they got told that there was going to be roots wrapping around you. They probably showed them concept art and stuff, but that's all you've got to work with. And you're like, okay, now he's touching you with one of his roots. It's wrapping around. You've got to look down and be astonished and stuff. It's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and the scene is really emotional between a tree and a raccoon.
Yeah.
Like, the person who's the most emotional in this scene is Rocket, because he realized what's happening.
Mm.
Oh, it's getting me again. God damn this movie.
Groot. Good old Groot.
Like, that's an amazing scene between two complete CGI characters.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good
Destruction.
crash. It's a good crash.
Well, they built it all, so it would be wrong, you know, if they...
That's
didn't
where the
just-
budget went. $165 million to build a city for one shot.
And you kind of think it's over here, and you're like, okay, all right.
It's
And
all
then-
done, yeah.
Then we get some moves busted out. Actually, there's an outtake reel on the web as well, and there's some good outtakes at the end here with Chris Pratt doing like the dance moves and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh, and I think, I've seen it with Lee Pace, the guy who plays
That's right.
Ronan. Yeah, he jumps
Yeah.
in, he starts doing dance and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, he doesn't have a hole in his chest. This film's a bunch of bullshit.
Where is the hole in his chest?
Yeah, so like, what's it called? The Milano. His ship is destroyed, and his tape player's destroyed. It's like a great end to the film.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the tape player's still working long enough that the one song starts playing that he can do the dance off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean about the songs and the music were part of the whole movie. You can't take any of the songs out of the film, otherwise it doesn't work.
This also shows you how powerful those Infinity Stones are as well. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, this is just one of, what is it, 5 or 7 stones? 5?
There's 6.
Is it 6? Because 5 goes into the
1,
glove,
2,
doesn't
3,
it?
4. There's 6, one for each knuckle, and then there's one that goes in the center. That's the green one, the reality stone. Although
Right.
I think they've changed the colors for the thing. Let's see if my nerd skills can come back. There's mind, soul, power, time, space, and reality. Yeah.
And have we seen them all?
I think so. I think somebody went and they found like each of them in it.
Okay. Because time was obviously in
They're
Doctor
only
Strange.
guessing because they don't know. This might be the power stone. Time
Yeah.
is definitely in Strange. I think the one in Strange is green, which was traditionally the reality stone, which was the most powerful one. And then the mind stone is the one that is in Vision's head.
Right.
Or is that the soul stone? Can't remember. If you go online, don't come to us for information. We're useless. If you go online, you can see it.
I love the fact he's so confused. He's just like, I'm going to destroy the whole planet.
And this idiot's...
What are you doing?
That's what Alex said. See, it's a good ending because that's the kind of way it works. Like, they can't defeat him, but they work together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this kind of leads into the second one, but it's all about Guardians of the Galaxy, bitch.
I'll grab this. And then this gets explained a little bit more because obviously, yeah, he's not fully human. So he can hold on to that and not just explode straight away.
Which is something we have talked about, which is at the end of the second one. Spoiler alert again for that film we won't shut up about. But is this something that he can do in future, or has he lost this ability now? Like, is he still going to have that level of power, or is it all gone?
I think it's gone. And they were alluding to it being gone. He sacrificed that at the end of the film.
Yeah.
But you never know. They could introduce that, like, maybe he's still got, like, like little bits of it here and there.
Yeah. And here's the throwback all the way to the very start of the film.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's cool. It's a well done script. That's what I like about the film.
I like it when they touch each other's hands. It just, like, does that exploding thing. Yeah, it's, like, cool.
Yeah.
And then he's looking, he's like, oh, bollocks.
And the thing James Gunn was talking about for the third film is it might be, by the end of the third film, it'd be a different roster of people. So like these actors and these characters won't be in the new Guardians. It'll keep changing.
Right, right.
Sort of like Avengers, like they've changed now to Falcon and Vision and...
Yeah.
Get a rocket.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess Quill has enough strength to control it if he can share it with a few other people.
Yeah, because he still is human. Yeah. So
I think they have to let him keep this power, because that kind of makes sense going into Infinity War.
True.
Because no one else is going to be able to bloody hold the damn thing.
Well, you could argue that he might do it with the rest of the Avengers as well.
Yeah.
Like he needs more people.
Yeah. Or it's even just the case of the Guardians know they can do this, which means they know how valuable they are to the Avengers.
Totally.
So like I could see someone like Tony Stark telling these guys to fuck off. But then Quill's like, "No, you need us.
Imagine it.
You need us, bitch."
Yeah. It's going to be just such a fantastic film with...
I hope it's not going to be a Fantastic Four film.
Oh, God.
Got him. Got them all.
Good old Stark commenting on, like, you've got a tree and you've got a raccoon.
Yeah.
And
it's alright, we don't need any trees. And Spider-Man will be in it, as we've seen from the Avengers tease.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a crazy... What was it? Justice League is supposed to be 3 hours long. Everyone who's listening to this has already seen Justice League because you're listening in the future, in 2030. But that's supposed to be nearly 3 hours. So I'm thinking Infinity War is going to be like close to 3 hours as well.
Yeah, I hope so, because they've got a lot to tell. They've got a lot of people to introduce and a big story to tell. And it's been leading all the way up to this as well. So
I guess my prediction will be Thor and Strange come back from wherever they are with the Hulk and be like, oh shit, there's this guy named Thanos, we got to get rolling, and they just take everybody and they go off. And then midway through they'll bump into the Guardians.
Yeah, something like that. Or Guardians will either save them somehow, or someone will be like Thor or someone else, or the Collector or something will be like, I'm going to put you in contact with someone I think could help, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting who they're going to follow specifically. Like, it's obviously an Avengers movie, so the Guardians will be a secondary group. Like, they won't be the main focus.
Yeah, and I think they'll act as a unit instead of individuals as well. So it'll be like they're helping out, but they're all like together.
Yeah.
It won't be like, oh, here's Drax and he's just gonna do his thing. You know, it's gonna be them as the unit.
Yeah.
So it's like them in their ship, and then maybe like Drax on the outside of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody can't get their time.
Yeah.
But then I'm wondering, like, is it gonna follow Tony Stark or is it gonna follow Steve Rogers?
I don't know. I think like you said, it is an Avengers film, so it'll probably do what they've done in the past with a bit of both of them. But
yeah,
you never know. It depends what the goal is. Like, is Tony? We don't know who's going. We're pretty sure one of those guys are going.
Yeah,
but
both of them.
Both of them
in the first 10 minutes. Kill both of them. That would be amazing.
Done.
How good would that be? There'd be people on the premiere day. They would be running out of the theater to bloody ring other people, and like, they killed Tony Stark and Steve Rogers in the first 10 minutes. They blew his head off. Yeah.
So back to the film that we're talking about.
So back to the film we're talking about.
Yeah.
He has an anomaly inside him of magic light.
You're not completely human.
Yeah, so that's just going back to what I was saying. He's ancient, so yeah, he's millions of years old. But they've never seen him before, so I guess he is the last Celestial.
Yeah.
They've never seen one before that.
Right.
They've only got like those holograph images that the Collector had.
Right.
Interesting. Still better have fucking Galactus in it. Oh, if they had Galactus in Infinity War. Oh my god. The possibilities. Mostly just have a giant purple man. This is really corny though. It's just like, yeah, it wasn't wrong. This is Thanos. He just changes his whole bloody life's meaning.
Yeah.
I also like this because I've watched it a few times and I can't tell if Rocket, like the way Bradley Cooper kind of does the voice, I can't tell if he's genuinely doesn't understand the law or he's just being a little bit of a dick.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think he's being a dick.
I know, but I think like he says it sometimes like, but what if I want it more? You know what I mean? And all that background, that's all London. That's downtown London.
Downtown London.
Like that.
Little Groot there's already got like a head and an arm.
Yeah. Like it does sound like a dick.
I like this.
What the hell are you doing over there? It sounds like you're banging.
Oh, that's the wife walking upstairs.
Can't believe you let her in the house.
I know. She's been in the tent for the whole weekend.
Yeah, she should be, as is Canada's tradition. Wives stay in the tent during Canada Day. Outside the home. Look it up, people. Look it up.
Look it up.
Don't look
it's
it up.
a thing.
Don't look it up. We'll get in so much trouble if that becomes something they're looking up.
There was like a chocolate bar in there as well. Like a bounty or something.
A 30-year-old Mars bar.
Oh god. It's still alright.
Maybe it's a Milky Way bar. That's where they come here for the jokes. The jokes and the insight into movies that we're not currently watching.
Another thing here is as she's talking, it doesn't follow along with the letter.
Does it not?
That's what people were saying.
Well, I couldn't read the letter, Alex, because unlike you, I have emotions, and there were tears in my eyes when the scene was playing.
You were wiping the tears away, just like you were after playing Wipeout.
Not like you, who just reads it, being like, this bitch, she's not even saying what's on the page.
Bitch isn't saying it. What's wrong with her handwriting?
That's why you've never seen the end of this movie. You walk out right at that moment. You're like, fuck this.
I walked out, like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Couldn't stand it. It's too much bullshit. People can't dance. And you just walked right out.
Where is he going to find the Awesome Mix Volume 3 there?
It's going to be on a Zune.
Oh, it's going to be on the Zune. Of course it is. How stupid of me.
That holds over 300 songs.
That'd be awesome if there was 300 songs in the film. Not really, actually.
It's Get Me Again. Such a great song to end the movie on. Oh.
I'm hanging up now.
You should. It's just tears from now to the end of the credits. Oh, she's a dancer.
Oh. And this is where he's like, I'm not too sure about this thing.
He's like, I know this prick. I raised this little bastard.
If I know Peter Quill,
yeah,
there's something else. Everyone's celebrating.
I'm just looking at those graphics in the background. Somebody had to spend hours on that. No one noticed but me.
Yeah.
Like even that little ball thing, that was CG, wasn't it? Like a little.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I'm not sure. It might not be.
Glenn Close's hair. It could have been CG, but it's cool.
Step Brothers.
I remember this happened earlier in the movie, and I thought this was going to have something to do with Groot, because like his house is full of plants.
Oh, right.
And I was like, is he going to be the one that takes Groot or fixes Groot? I was like, no, he just has plants. Ain't no mountain high enough. Just a little nod of like, yep, respect.
Yeah.
Family. Ah, now Groot's waking up.
Groot.
Oh, she said it. It's done.
Oh.
Did it.
Bit of
movie
both.
Over.
Like it.
And you kick it off with one
and
of the greatest.
And then they end on such an awesome thing, which went like super viral around the internet as well.
Yeah.
With the dancing at the end, Everyone loved that.
I remember when this happened, and James Gunn, they asked James Gunn, there you go, Guardians will return. James Gunn was asked about it. It's like, oh, are they going to bring out a dancing Groot toy? He said, well, Marvel would be stupid not to now.
Yeah.
Because no one had any plans. They didn't think this was going to take off.
I know.
But this went nuts.
It really did.
And then they had to rush them out from like whatever Funko or whoever was building it.
Yeah.
And this is another callback joke because they do this in the second one as well.
He does that in number 2 as well, doesn't he?
That's
At some point.
Yeah, at the very start of it, when Baby Groot's doing his dance, Drax lands right beside him, and Groot just freezes. And then Drax gets up and he starts dancing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was what, 20 seconds?
Yeah, I know.
It was like the biggest thing.
Little bit there made them like a shit ton of money with little toys and stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of made the second movie. I guess maybe he had plans to make teenager Groot or whatever,
Sure.
but they're like, no, we want baby Groot.
We'll keep him as a baby, yeah.
We need baby Groot, and we need him because he's adorable. We're going to put a little jacket on him.
Yeah, that was good. I hadn't seen that for a while. It was good to watch again.
I haven't seen it in a couple of days, yeah.
A couple of days. We watch it every other day. So
Yeah.
look at those names coming up there.
That's a cast list, all right. Peter Serafinowicz. I can't believe he's dead. Why'd they kill him? He's awesome.
What do you think the IMDb on this is, by the way?
This one's got to be high. People love this film.
Mm.
Let's go for 8.1.
It is 8.1. Yeah.
Is it?
It's exactly that, yeah. That's with 768,000 votes, so that's a good amount of votes as well.
Whew, that is a lot of people who like it.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a bunch of people who goes, boo, 1 star, Marvel, bullshit.
Why doesn't it have Superman in it?
It's too
Because
jokey.
he's dead.
I just don't like... Well, not don't like... I can understand people don't like Marvel movies, but at least they're getting better. Like, this is a better movie than Iron Man 3.
Sure, yeah.
Like, they're constantly raising the bar.
Yeah.
So now, like, films like the original Iron Man or the original Thor, they kind of look quaint. You're kind of like, oh, that was a nice little movie.
Mm.
Even though it was still another $150 million movie.
No, I know, but they're upping themselves each time, like you said. You know, they're not just out there to make some money and to get another movie out there. They're like, no, let's better it. Let's make sure that, you know, Avengers is good and Avengers 2 is even better and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Infinity War's budget is like rumored to be the most expensive film ever made.
Really?
I've heard that. It's either because they're making 2 of them.
Yeah.
I think they're splitting the budget or something like that to break it down.
Oh, wow.
But like it could end up being about $500 million between the 2 of them.
Oh, man.
Because they have to get all the actors. They have to pay Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
They have to pay all the makeup people to make Chris Pratt look good in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of bloody stars going in.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, that's going to cost you money.
Mm.
And then it also has to be the biggest superhero film ever.
Right.
Because Justice League is coming out. They have to make Justice League look like a fucking bunch of guys running around in cosplay.
Toys R Us. Well,
Yeah.
if Cyborg's got anything going, they've job done.
Even when we watch happy movies, we end up fucking shitting on DC movies.
I hope Justice League's awesome because I want them to put up good competition, a good fight.
Yeah. I just think Avengers is next year, isn't it?
Yes.
So whatever they're shooting, because Robert Downey Jr., their competition, they're shooting it now.
Mm.
So Justice League will be out in November. So definitely around, I'd say, the same time, maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, it'll probably be around a year.
Yeah. They definitely have to be like, all right, we've got this much time to make the best special effects or whatever.
Mm.
Because I don't even know what the budget for Justice League is.
I don't know either. It's gonna be way high though, isn't it?
It should be high because it's the thing, like Batman Superman was $250 million.
Sure.
And that, like, everyone knows our feelings on that movie, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a bigger movie than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, even Man of Steel looked like a bigger movie than Batman Superman. Because you have, like, the spaceships, and you have the whole start of it with Krypton, and you have the whole city getting destroyed at the end of it.
Yeah.
So, if that was $250 million, then maybe Justice League is, like, $300 million.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up, but it's not It's not got the budget on it yet.
No, they don't release the budget until the film's out.
Okay, right.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like it like for example with Justice League, they're doing their reshoots at the moment.
Yeah.
So all that's going to factor into the final
Cranking
budget.
up the bill.
Yeah, and same with Marvel with the Avengers. They'll have said, "Oh, we're going to spend this much money," but it could turn around that bloody Justice League is amazing. Like, oh, okay, we got to put in another $20 million of effects.
Yeah.
We got to pay all these guys from stereo D and 3D conversion and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy. Oh, Lucasfilm, Skywalker Sound. That's why it sounds so good.
A Lucasfilm.
And Disney, obviously, who own everything.
Well, for whoever made it to the end, thanks for watching. I know some of you guys play it as you watch the film, so, and I'm sure there'll be some people just skipping through,
listening to her jabbering on.
Yeah, just seeing kind of what the heck we're doing.
Yeah, if you've gotten all the way to the end, find us on Twitter. Let us know you did it by using the hashtag Phasar. That's PHASAR. Phasar.
Do it right. Get some respect.
Let it hashtag Phasar. Hashtag respect. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I guess listening if you're just listening to us.
Yeah.
Find us at Rant and Bollox. Let us know if you like this one or Guardians 2 better.
I've got a little after scene here, of course.
Yeah, and let us know if you actually want Marvel to make a Howard the Duck movie.
Of course, yeah.
Actually, I'm looking at that. That could be the Grail from the Holy Grail. I just found it. I found it. I found the Easter egg.
You got it. It's so random that they put him in there.
Yeah, like people watching that are like, oh, I can't wait to see Captain America or whatever. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So we made it. We made it to the end.
We did make it to the end. And let us know if there's certain films you want us to do commentary on as well.
Yeah, we're going to try and get them out a lot more often.
Yeah.
Next week we're doing a Spider-Man film.
Oh, yes. For the good old new one that's coming out.
Yep. Which we'll then be reviewing the week after that.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're listening to this after both of those things have come out, in which case we've done them. Go back and check them out.
I'm going to kick off some Game of Thrones as well, I think.
Oh, yeah, Game of Thrones.
That starts on the 17th, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
So, who doesn't like Game of Thrones?
Oh, we'll have to talk about that tomorrow on the podcast too.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah. In case nobody knows, we actually do have a podcast as well. Rant and Bollox on iTunes and maybe somewhere else. I don't know. That's Al's job.
All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. God bless you. Boom.